Hello, everyone. How's it going? How's your day been? I start crying.
It's not been a good one.
I'm gonna start over.
It's not been a good one. My brother's been staying here. He fucking sucks. Introducing my guest.
Hey, what's up? It just feels weird because it's like you're right there.
I can look over here.
Why don't you just leave? You can go. Hey. Welcome to No Eye Contact. My name's Ash. I'm 24. I'm a Virgo. And my brother's here.
Howdy.
Give him a round of applause. This is No
you,
Eye Contact.
No you.
No Eye Contact is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Yes.
And I'm here with my little brother, just catching up, checking in.
It had been a minute.
It had been a minute. My brother went to college.
I went to college. I started college, 3 weeks in.
3 weeks in.
It's disgusting. I hate it. The worst experience of my life. Not worth it. Don't go to school.
Don't go to school.
Or do.
Yeah, Cameron did 2 years of community college, and then he's starting in college as a junior.
But I already have an associate's. It came in the mail when I stopped by and saw Dad. It was there, and I opened it and I looked at it.
He has an associate's.
An associate in arts.
And he just came to visit me, and he's staying with me for the weekend, and we've been having a grand old time.
We have.
And I just wanted to check in with him today and see how his college experience has been going. Cameron.
Yeah.
How has your college experience been going?
Whew. That is a tough question to answer. It's mostly been positive. I've, for the most part, enjoyed it, but that doesn't mean that there haven't been nuisances and hurdles that I've had to kind of get over.
Naturally.
Would you like me to talk about them?
Cameron, what are some of those nuisances and hurdles?
I'm glad you asked. One of them is that I'm not used to living with 3 strangers.
That can be a lot.
It is.
It's hard to live with people.
It is. And, I was really worried because I'm usually, you know me, I'm pretty messy.
Yes.
But I would say within my messiness, I'm good at confining it to my space. Correct?
Sure.
I am very messy. I forget to put things up a lot, and I am just naturally messy. But so going in, I was like, I don't want to be the messy roommate. I don't want to be the one that everyone's always mad at because it's like he makes stuff dirty. And fortunately, no, I don't think that I could be that because one of my roommates is so messy, it's insane.
How messy is he?
You're going to have to edit it in.
How
messy is he? Extremely.
Wow.
Okay, so we had our first Friday there. I moved in on a Tuesday, and then I met my guys. At the time, there was only 2 of us. Later, there was only 3 of us.
Counting you.
Yes, and it's a suite. It's not a dorm. So we each have a private room, and then we have a shared common space, and then a shared bathroom. Just for the audience. And so he had already been there a week before I showed up, and then another guy showed up, and then another guy didn't show up until a week later. But so the 3 of us, that Friday, we had a little party. We had some girls over, and we had some drinks, and, so it was a little bit of fun. Got a little crazy.
A little turnt. Got lit, as the kids say.
Friday night. We didn't have classes, it was whatever. But yeah, and so after the party, we had generated quite a bit of mess. But so we walked the girls back to their dorm, and then we came back, and me and the other roommate, who is not the messy one, who we will call John, in case I have to refer to him, and I'll definitely not forget and call him his real name. So me and John, we cleaned up our stuff. Like we at the I didn't really clean so much as I just picked up all of my mess because I was also a little messed up at that point. I collected all my stuff and I just kind of threw it in my room, and I was like, I'll deal with it in the morning, but it's in literally no one else's space except mine. So my mess is not affecting anyone except me. And same thing that John did. That's exactly what John did as well, right? The other guy did not do that. The other guy did not think that applied to him. And in fact, his mess stayed there probably until Wednesday the following week. So we had the party Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And he didn't clean it up. John was like, hey man, maybe we should clean up this mess. And then they cleaned it up together. But the funniest part of the whole thing is that so on Monday we had like an RA meeting, and afterwards we had to like come back and fill out this like roommate agreement thing. And while we were sitting there talking, the John had left the room, and so it was just me and the messy guy. And the messy guy was like, Cameron, it's getting kind of messy in here. Maybe we should all together clean the suite. And I dead ass was just like, none of this was me. None of the trash in this room was generated by... Yeah, look around. Because John is a pretty health guru guy, doesn't drink soda. I don't like diet sodas, don't like Pepsi, don't like energy drinks. The side table where the messy guy was sitting during the party is just full of empty Diet Pepsi cans and Red Bulls. And it's like, I would never drink that. The other guy's a health nut who doesn't do caffeine or any like sugary type stuff. It's just you. And like several pairs of shoes are all over the common area of the suite, not in his room. He got mail, and he opened his mail, like his Amazon package, and just left the Amazon ripped up packaging all over the couch, not even on the floor, on the sitting area. And he also hung a framed photo of Karl Marx
in the common area.
I'm sure he asked after it was hung up. And of course, I'm not going to say no because I don't want to be that guy. And I guess John is also okay with that. So there's a framed photo of Karl Marx. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily a problem. It's a choice. That's the thing you're going to hang up.
I didn't know it was framed.
It's framed.
Who framed Karl Marx?
Messy. Messy kid. He was planning on hanging it in his room, and then when he found out that John was a radicalized... Oh, they're very political, and I hate politics.
They keep saying they're going to radicalize you.
Yeah, they said that by the end of the semester we're going to radicalize you, and I was like, what does that mean?
Which I think is assault. So...
They radicalized that kid in the bathroom in 13 Reasons Why.
No. What about how... Okay, I think it's fair to say that the messy kid is 17 years old.
Yes, I'm 20 and John is 23.
And then there's a 17-year-old,
which
doesn't feel even like it should be allowed.
No, yes, I agree.
But so he's probably used to his fucking... mom. He should be in high school right now.
He also is clearly he was very sheltered, and I think he was homeschooled, if that tells anyone what that means. I've met a lot of homeschool kids in my life, and they all kind of have that same vibe. Mm-hmm. Talk about Nathan.
I'll bleep that.
Don't.
Okay.
He lives it. Just dox him.
His phone number is...
I have his phone number. I don't know what it is. What were we talking about? I lost my train of thought.
Oh,
yes, he's not good in social situations, and he has like a hard time reading the room.
I was gonna bring up the hugging.
Yes, he hugs me a lot.
But every time after
he goes, oh, sorry, man. Did that make you uncomfortable? Like if that makes you uncomfortable, you can report me to like the campus police. Like if that was like harassment, and I'm like. I'm not that uncomfortable. I'm not uncomfortable enough to report you to the police. But also, if every time you're going to hug me, you're going to do that, that should be a sign to you that you should not hug me. If every time you hug me, you get the vibe that I'm uncomfortable, stop hugging me. Because I am uncomfortable. I'm just not that uncomfortable.
True.
I would rather he didn't hug me, but it's fine that he hugs me.
Well, stop touching people. There's literally a
that too.
virus.
That too.
Let's stop touching
But it's
people.
also, where you're sharing this, like, if one of us gets it, we're all going to get it. There's no, like, even if we aren't hugging.
You're definitely going to get it if you're hugging.
That's true. But, like, I mean, we eat our meat, like, we eat meals together, sitting around a small table in a packed Cafeteria. My school, there was a cafeteria near my dorm. Oh, my dorm is the farthest dorm away from like the actual campus. It's like a 10-minute walk to the actual campus, and there's no parking, so driving is not an option. And there was there's 2 cafeterias on campus, and there was one like a 5-minute walk from me, and then the other one is like a 15-minute walk away. But to be fair, the other one's bigger and nicer, but less people because it's just the dorms around us. Whatever, closed it.
Everyone goes.
Yes, they closed it after the first week, and so now everyone has to go to the other one. It's always packed. It's way too loud. It's probably over capacity 100% of the time. And yeah, it's just like way more stressful and 15 minutes away.
Damn.
So it's like even if cuz like you can get like a to-go box and then just like walk through and get your stuff and then not eat there and then just leave.
Yeah.
But
then you got to walk 15 minutes.
30 minutes,
food.
15 there, 15 back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They might as well sit down and eat this.
I might as well sit down. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. That being said, though, the food selection on campus is pretty good. We have like a place that's kind of like a Chipotle's. We have a Chili's, Subway, Moe's. There's a Papa John's
On campus?
on campus.
Wow.
It's actually on the bottom floor of the really big cafeteria. There's like a Moe's, and then like a salad place, and then Papa John's. And I think there's another place. There's also a Chick-fil-A in there. That's also where the Chipotle place is. But they're like on separate ends. Whereas like the other ones are like, they have like mall stations, you know, when you go to the food. But then the other ones have like their own rooms.
Like their own little kind of restaurant corner.
Yeah.
The only like name.
And there's a bagel place, which is I've been getting their bagel pizza, and it has been fire.
Oh yeah. The only like name brand places we had were Chick-fil-A and
Burger King.
McAllister's.
McAllister's. I've never heard of McAllister's.
Like on campus.
What is a McAllister's? A lot of like booby traps. McAllister. I made a Home Alone reference earlier today, and neither you nor Nathan laughed.
What'd you say?
I can't remember what we were talking about.
Probably wasn't funny.
Oh, something about we were talking about the McGee show. This is an off-topic thing, but and there was a homeless guy living in the house Nathan was talking about, and they were scared of him, but then he was cool, and I was like, oh, it happens in both Home Alones.
I heard you say that.
Yeah, I guess it just wasn't funny.
Yeah. Sorry. They can't all
Cut
be,
it out. Could you get
They can't all be hits.
Annex? You don't have to cut it out.
Cameron got a gay hat to support me.
Gay.
He's an ally.
I'm an ally.
What can he say? He's an
And
ally.
my messy roommate tried to steal it.
Don't even let him put his grubby little hands on there.
Thursday night, we were chilling in John's room, and he's like, this is my hat now. And I was like, I think that he was just going to wear it for a little bit. I think that he wanted to wear it Friday, but I was like, I need that back before I leave tomorrow because it's my gay hat that I got for solidarity with my sister, and I'm going to wear it when I go and see her.
Talk about how he makes up stuff when he wants things.
Yes, that has happened several times.
I talk about being on gummies and stuff.
Okay,
So-
I have a Delta 8 pen, and he's 17, and they.
Oh
have,
yeah.
It doesn't. You're legal. You're just not allowed to purchase it. I believe there is like a thing where it's like, I don't know. You're allowed to be drunk and like high. You're just not allowed to consume. Anyways, I let him use it. I let everybody at the party use it, and he was asking me about it at the party, and I told him like you have to be 21 to buy it, blah blah blah. And then the next day he knocks on my door and he's like, "Oh, hey man." Oh, and he hit it way too much at the party. I should also say
And he's
that.
not even inhaling it.
He was
He's not
hitting.
even
Yeah, no, he was
getting
just.
high.
And I would be like, "You're not inhaling it. You have to inhale it." And then he would be like, "Oh, sorry." It's like you're doing it fucking wrong.
And yeah.
And then he was like, "Yeah, the high didn't really last. It wasn't that good. Like it didn't last long. And it wasn't good." And I was like, "Then stop. You're just wasting it." He
Then
burned
stop.
it more than everybody else combined. Everyone else at the party. There was like 7 of us. Yeah. And then so the next morning he comes to my door, and he's like, "Oh, hey, I remember last night you said that you had other pins and that you were gonna give me one." And I was like, "I did not say." He was like, "No, I definitely remember you saying that to me." And I was like, "I did not. Those words never left my mouth. I only have my one charger, and I only really have enough to last me until I can buy more. So, no." And I was like, "John is 23. You can go and ask him to buy you one if you want." And then so I guess they're working something out.
And then you do that with your other roommate?
Yes, and then when the other roommate moved in, which by the way is a very funny story because me and John both had girls spending the night, and the guy was moving in and we didn't know he was coming, and so we had stayed up until really late, and then set 7-8 a.m. I've only got 5 hours sleep. Knock knock knock. Oh, come help us move this guy in. Come help us move our new roommate in. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And so I go out there with my I'm buttoning up my shirt. And the girl I'm with is not wearing underwear, just covering herself with my big shirt, and then we walk out there and it's him and his mom, and we're like, oh, okay. It's funny.
It'd be like that. Also, here's our framed picture of Karl Marx.
Yes. Which actually it isn't hanging yet. It sits on the couch because they hung it and then it fell, and then we got new stuff to hang it. And he refuses to do it, even though it's his fucking thing. And I'm not going to hang it up because I don't give a shit about Karl Marx.
So the guy moved in. And he was like, I have a trash can.
Yes. He said, I have a trash can. I have trash bags. I think that he probably said oh, if you guys need to borrow a trash bag, you can borrow a trash bag or something. And then a couple days later, messy roommate is like, you said you were going to give us a trash can for the bathroom. And the guy was like, I didn't say that. And he's like, no, you said that you were going to give us. You said that you were going to give us a trash can for the bathroom. And it was like, what the fuck?
He didn't say that, bro.
And even if he did, he
Why
just said no.
Why are you being so aggressive?
He just said no.
Oh, 17-year-olds who are homeschooled who are now in college for some reason.
Yeah, and
wow.
John, who's 23, is coming in as a sophomore.
Damn. Because he traveled for 3 years or something, right?
Went to Spain for 2 or 3 years.
Spain.
Yeah, he said he spent a lot of time just doing drugs in a dark room with a Bible.
Good.
And God gave him a new name. It's not John anymore. Which I think is the name that I know him as. I don't know any other name for him. And he told us a story about how his dad got mad at him for changing his name.
I want to know what his other name is. Do you think his parents call him that? Did he get it legally changed?
I have no idea.
Wow.
I have no way of knowing.
And that guy's just a theater kid.
Horny theater kid, mind you.
Horny.
It's crazy because
I feel like a lot of theater kids are hot. A
Yeah,
lot of
that's
theater
true.
kids are horny.
a lot of kids fucked on that couch behind in the theater at our high school.
I
You
sat
know
on that
it.
couch, bro. I sat on it.
But people told stories. There's
A
no
lot.
way my generation invented fucking on that couch.
I'm sure, but I don't think I ran in those circles.
I mean, the theater kids would just be like, "Yeah, I heard so and so." I'm like, "What? I don't."
I was too busy writing
trying to read
the
Shakespeare.
best goddamn talent show sketches.
I had
seen.
I had theater twice.
I only did it. No, I did the one, and then the one was with the talent show. So yeah, same. So did you do it 3 times?
I did it 3 times, yeah, because I did it both semesters
Theater
my senior
kid.
year, and then I did it freshman year.
Theater kid alert.
It's true. I hide it well.
He's a fucking weeb.
No. I did watch my first anime movie this week.
Sussy baka.
It was okay. I would have preferred if it wasn't animation. The story was nice, but I am anti-animation.
Is it a movie?
Yeah, it was a movie.
What was it?
I don't remember the name, but it was about this guy who was really mean when he was younger. Somebody knows. About someone who was really mean when he was younger to this deaf girl that went to their school, and then later in life he closed himself off from everyone around him because he was like, "Oh, I'm an asshole. I don't deserve to have friends." And then he's kind of relearning that he does deserve to have friends, and then he's trying to make amends with all the people he's hurt in his life. It's very good. And it literally starts with him as an adult, and he's like, I'm going to sell literally everything I own to pay my mom back this money I owe her, and then I'm going to kill myself.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. You don't remember the name of it?
I don't. I'm sure it was something in Japanese.
Sounds about
Oh,
right.
but I watched it. People are going to hate this. I watched it dubbed. Not my choice. The person who showed it to me's choice.
Sad. Dubbed is too bizarre.
'Cause it doesn't line up with the mouth. I would rather just read subtitles.
The inflections like not right.
Yeah.
They're like yelling for some reason.
It's not the original. Like, it's not like the director didn't direct the American speaker, like
Yeah.
voice acting, but he did the Japanese person.
Yes. Yes.
Dubbed is bizarre.
I think some point soon I will watch an anime just to give it a try. I'm thinking about Attack on Titans. Attack of the Titans?
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan. And
I love when people add the S to things. Like, they're like, oh, Infinity Wars? And it's like, God, it's Infinity War.
going to the Walmart.
I'm going to go see the Doctor Stranges. And it's like, stop. Please. For the love of God.
Do you want to talk TV shows?
Yes.
So Cameron and I moved home. I moved to my hometown about a year ago, and we have been hanging out a lot. And we've went through a bunch of TV shows, like a bunch of shows we had never watched before. Some that one of us had watched before.
It was a lot of you showing me things, and then a couple times I showed you something. She's pissed. That's what the silence is. Absolute lividness.
5 out of 11 for you.
Had I seen them?
You either picked them or you'd seen them.
I'd seen... Oh, well, I'll say whether I've seen them before we watch them when we go through them.
You've seen Ash.
Yes. I'd seen half of the first season of Twin Peaks.
Yeah. We counted Dark as both of us.
We kind of dark as both of us.
And then Hannibal and Mr. Robot.
And I'd never seen either of those.
Yeah. But I'm saying you picked them.
Yeah.
You said it was just me showing you stuff.
It was mostly you just showing me things.
You're fucked. Okay, first one we watched.
Of the categories of neither of us have
Of
watched...
what I've seen?
Okay, so here are the categories, right? Either neither of us have watched it before we watched it. One of us had watched it. So, like, either you had watched it or I had watched it. Those are the three options, right?
Uh-huh.
And of those, the thing that appeared the most was a show that you had already seen that you were showing me.
Okay, fine.
I just want to... Yeah.
What, I can't rewatch good shows?
No, you can't. I'm just saying. You're like, yeah, it was like one
I'm
of us
literally
had
going to
watched-
murder you.
Please do.
No, I wouldn't do you the freaking decency.
The kindness. All right, let's start. What's the first
All right, the
show?
first one we watched was Euphoria.
Very good. I mean, I liked Euphoria, yeah. I thought, especially visually, I loved it. And musically, I loved it. And then I think it has a good story.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I thought that's what you didn't really like.
I think that that's not as good as the music, like the score and the visuals. But like I care about the main characters and stuff.
I think they have a great cast.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you asked me right now what the main character's name was, I couldn't tell you. I know Jules.
It's Hunger Games, bitch.
Katniss? Prim?
Why? Who were they doing this for?
Rue. Dolph Lundgren, right?
Can't whistle. I was one of the bitches in the movie theater during Hunger Games that did this.
Of course you were.
It's so embarrassing. I wish I didn't. If I could go back in time and shoot myself before I did that, I would. So Euphoria.
Yeah.
Euphoria is amazing.
Yeah.
But here's my problems with Euphoria. I wish that... I don't think there's any reason why they couldn't be college kids. I just don't like this whole thing where we're just watching, like, high schoolers get fucked up and have sex with each other. Because there's that level of, like... I know all these actors are overage, but, like,
within the context of the story, it's pedophilia.
Yeah, we're watching fucking kids have sex. Yeah. That's weird. We're also... Sometimes we're watching, like, statutory rape happen. And...
First episode. I think it's the first thing that happens.
Pretty much. But what was I gonna say? But it also kind of creates like an unrealistic standard for actual like kids.
It is crazy because there really is nothing that much different. I mean, obviously Euphoria is like quality wise better, but in terms of like the writing and like the subject matter, there really is no difference between like Euphoria and like a 13 Reasons Why. Like they're both covering. I would say that Euphoria does handle it better because
I would compare it more to Skins, but I don't think you watched
okay.
Skins.
I didn't watch Skins.
Skins was teenagers on drugs, dealing with fucking eating disorders and like
Yeah,
sex shit.
I think that's a lot. That's probably what Dawson's Creek is. That's probably what Degrassi High is. Riverdale, fucking Twin Peaks has an element of that.
Yeah, but Euphoria is definitely
Laura Palmer
more
had a
adult.
coke addiction.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just mean like kind of glorifying like fucked up shit in high school.
Yeah.
Like cuz people weren't really some people fucked in high school.
Yeah, and
but
some
no
people
one was
caught
like
drug addictions.
fucking. Yeah, and some people had drug addiction, but it wasn't rampant. It was like within a school there was maybe 2 kids that actually had like a problem with drugs. There's probably like what? You think
It's
it was
probably more than that.
I mean, but I mean, like, would go like in the way that like like nobody was at Rue's level at my high school.
Maybe, I mean, you don't know,
I guess that's true.
but I feel like some people.
But they're also glorifying it. They're being like, but this is good. This is what's happening, and also it's cool.
I don't think they're doing that. That's why I do like them.
Yeah, so that's what I think it kind of does with 13 Reasons Why it does it differently. Because 13 Reasons Why is like, kill yourself and leave tapes.
I think Euphoria is. I think that
And then
the
redeem
aesthetic draws you into thinking that it's glorified, and I think people who don't actually fucking understand the
Yeah.
show and who are just there for the aesthetics, that's what they think it's about.
It's like the people who think that Joker is like someone to look up to, like Walking
Yeah.
Phoenix is the Joker. That are like, yeah, he's so cool.
Like, no,
And
this
it's like,
is-
no, he's
there's
a
a dark
loser.
message
yes. That's a guy that you shouldn't be. That is
Yeah.
yeah.
But I like. There's a whole part in Euphoria where she's like, drugs are cool, and then it's immediately talking about like her OD, and it's like there's a very narrow window that drugs are cool, and I think it shows that a lot throughout the show.
That's true. That's a good point.
But I just don't see any reason that they couldn't be like.
I would say that there is an element of well, I think that in Euphoria the statutory rape is there specifically. Like I think it's there for like a plot point. Like it is meant to be fucked up when Jules fucks the bully's dad. Like that is meant to be like, oh, that's not right. Like if it was legal, it would kind of lessen that blow. Because then it would just be about that the dad,
Drama. Yeah.
that the dad is secretly
Yeah,
cheating with people, but making it children it adds
that's true. That's
something
very
horrible
true.
to the character. Yeah.
This is an excuse, but there's also the whole aspect where like Jules lied about her age, and she said she was like 22 or something.
That's true.
So he didn't
is
know
true.
she was a high schooler.
And I would also say there's an
But-
element of like if Rue was in college, she wouldn't be dealing with her mom and sister as much.
That's
I guess it
true.
could be community college.
That's what I was thinking.
but
That they can't all be in community college because that'd
Yeah.
be weird.
yes,
Then it's just fucked up
because
community.
the football guy is good at football. He's probably going to go to a football school. Why would he be playing football at the community college, right? If you wanted to be a big, muscular guy, like that guy's going somewhere.
But also there is the aspect of McKay. He's at the college because he travels. Like he
Yes.
travels back on the weekend to see what's her name. I can't remember her name right now. The actress's name is Sydney Sweeney. I can't think of her real name. McKay and something. Oh, fuck.
Is it the blonde girl?
Mhm.
Her character thing is that she has really big tits, right? Isn't that like that's a point in an episode that they make. Is that it's like the guys like her.
Maybe she was just really pretty. I don't know.
I feel like I
Oh,
specifically
they were
remember
talking about
them
like
saying,
how her uncles would like hug her weird and stuff.
Yes.
When she started to like
Yes.
develop boobs. A lot of relatable traumatic things in there. Anyways, it's really good.
Yeah.
It is good, but it is fucked. But so they came out with the 2 special episodes that we watched, which were like definitely way deeper, but I think they just like added completely new levels to the context of the show itself.
I did not enjoy the first one as much as I enjoyed the second one. I must say.
I liked them both, but the Jules one was more like dynamic, and that's kind of what I wanted the Rue one to be like. But
Because it was just a conversation.
But I ended up liking the Rue one. Like I felt
yeah, I
like
didn't think it was bad. I just
because kind of all of Rue's stuff is dynamic in the show, so it's like we got like a sit down, just like lay your feelings and how you're like what's going on out. But a lot of people tuned into the special episodes thinking it was going to be like the same aesthetic as the show, and so they were like, "These are boring." And it's like
no, they're like they're like an in between little like lesser.
yeah, but they both had very important messages in them, and I think it really showed who the true fans are. So Euphoria, what would you rate it out of 10?
Out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Wow.
It was good.
I'll give it an 8. 8 out of 10. And then after Euphoria, Cameron got to choose, and he chose
Hannibal, which I loved.
Oh, Hannibal.
Was that not what it is?
No, it is.
Oh.
Just saying, oh, Hannibal.
Oh, because you didn't know. Yeah, I loved it. I had never seen it.
Me
Neither
either.
of us had seen it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just really good.
When it first came out, I like illegally watched it, like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I thought it was interesting, but it was such a shitty, however they got the video of it, that like you really couldn't tell what was happening when it was dark. So I was like,
That would especially suck because it's a beautiful show.
yeah, it did not translate illegally streamed.
Oh my god.
Um,
Okay, I know that Euphoria is more colorful, but in terms of cinematography, which one do you think is maybe a little? Because I think maybe Hannibal is like a little more like avant-garde and like
yeah,
surreal.
it's darker and
Yeah.
yeah, and also it's like,
It's also horror. Like they can do
Yeah.
darker.
but also like Euphoria has a bunch of different characters that have like backgrounds and shit, and this we really just needed like 2 characters' backgrounds, and then we got like some side characters' backgrounds, but it worked really well. The cast was great.
Phenomenal. Mads Mikkelsen killed it.
Daddy as fuck, and the guy who played Will Graham,
Yeah.
Hugh Dancy,
Hugh Dancy.
the guy from Ella Enchanted.
Lawrence Fishburne. Good
Killed
job. Killed it.
Killed it.
Killed it.
Can't think of anyone else who was in it.
Yeah, I don't know the girl who plays Alana. I don't know her name.
But it was good. There were some fucked up parts.
The rich guy that gets fucked up. And
Oh my
talks like
God.
this. That guy killed it.
I hated him.
No, I loved him.
He was a good villain.
So it's fucking great show. I fell in love with it, and then I read all the books in like 2 months. I read them really fast, and they were, except for the last one, which is a prequel, they were all really good. And even the last one I enjoyed. It just wasn't. It was a little more like pulpy, or like it was more like action. It was less like crime, horror, thriller, drama, and it was. Hannibal was like kind of like an evil James Bond in it for a bit. It was weird. It was weird, but there were elements of it. I liked some of his backstory and stuff.
Yeah. I liked the like very like gay vibes that were in the show.
Yes.
There was definitely some homosexual tension between the 2 main characters, but it was like so tasteful and like it was
Perfect.
nice.
Yeah. It was very nice. A little bromance.
Yeah. It's really good. There's only like 3 seasons, and then or maybe it's 4 seasons. I think it's 3.
I think it's 3.
3 seasons and then it's over. But it's good.
But it's good. Only part of it I didn't like, first chunk of season 3, where they're just doing Red Dragon, and it's like not that good. Like it's like it kind of fell off, and it's 100% because they thought they were gonna get more seasons, but they ended up not, and the whole plan was to build up to doing Red Dragon. So when they thought they weren't gonna do another season, they were like, well, we're just gonna do Red Dragon. Which is the first book. Yeah.
Damn.
It was a very good book.
It was great.
It was great. But I really liked the last chunk of season 3. The finale was a great finale.
It was a great finale.
It was a great finale.
It felt good.
It felt good. I was satisfied.
Yeah.
It left it kind of vague, like you don't 100% know how it went, you know what I mean? But
Yeah. You
'cause
don't always feel satisfied when a show ends.
yeah, but I felt satisfied.
Yeah, that was good. And then after that, this was technically my pick, but we both agreed we kind of picked it because we both were kind of interested in it. But we watched a German show called Dark.
Oh, what sorry, taking it back. Out of 10, Hannibal.
Oh. I'd give it an 8.
I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Fair. Dark. I feel like I'm gonna give out a lot of 8s. Dark. I'm gonna give Hannibal 7.5.
Okay.
Dark.
Very good.
So good. It's about time travel.
It's this little German town that has this like
nuclear plant.
And at some point this is all we know at the beginning of the show. At some point in the future, something happens, and it kind of creates like this time portal in this cave, but you don't really know how it works, and so it's like people are like walking in the cave, and then they come out, and it's like things are wrong with the town. Maybe it's the past, maybe it's the future, and then it's just kind of confusing, and like there's a whole.
And then they're like meeting their dad as a teenager.
Yeah, there's whole like grandfather paradoxes and like all this stuff.
It's so well done.
Very well done.
It's gorgeous, and there's so many plot twists, and the colors in it are great. There's a lot of yellow. But I will say that all Germans look the same.
Yes, we were very confused for a long time.
It took us like a season and a half. Every time we deposit and be like, wait, so he did what?
Is this gay dad?
Is this gay dad?
Is this gay dad?
I think this is gay dad. No, that's not gay dad. This is the one who's mean.
Yes.
Mean dad.
Is this the 80s? Wait.
It took us so long, but it was so good.
I would also say we had the same thing with Hannibal. Hannibal, we were very confused, and then it all kind of tied together. That's a thing with us with shows, because we also get that in another show later. Yeah. And there's one show that I still don't think either of us understand.
Oh God. So yeah, I really liked it. I would give Dark an 8 out of 10.
I would give Dark a 7 out of 10.
I really enjoyed it.
I liked it.
Yeah, and then Cameron got to pick,
and I picked
Twin Peaks,
which is the show that I don't think either of us really understand still. Which might be because we were not able to. Well, we could have rented it or bought it, but neither of us did. Which I should have just done it, but I didn't. We didn't watch the sequel series that came out, so we've only seen. Yeah. There's 2 seasons of Twin Peaks from
the original,
the TV show, and then Fire Walk with Me, which is a prequel and movie, but also some of it's in the future.
Yeah,
and some of it's happening when Twin Peaks is happening, and then there's a sequel series.
Yeah,
that just came out. That came out, like 20 years later.
Yeah,
but I will say, especially season 1, I love Twin Peaks. The vibes, the music, it creates
quirky.
this yes,
it's so quirky.
Yes, it just feels,
but in a dark way.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty dark,
but it's also goofy.
Yeah, it's very cheesy.
It's so interesting.
It's very interesting. Because it is both simultaneously like it both simultaneously feels like an out of date like soap opera, and also one of the greatest like thriller TV shows of all time. It's like simultaneously both of those things, and you're like, what the hell? But it works.
I had to watch the first episode for one of my film classes, and I thought it was cool. Yeah, it was good. But I think it got on my nerves for a little bit just because of how fucking quirky it was. But then you got like used to it, and you were like,
and yeah, David Lynch is very weird.
You're like, this is funny.
Yeah. I love when he shows up as the other detective, and he can't like hear one. He's like, what?
That's good. That's funny.
And the mean guy, who was in a movie we saw, he was in RoboCop. The mean agent shows up. Yeah, that Harry punches. Twin Peaks was good.
Bro, when he was like being possessed by Bob. Oh my God, that was crazy. But also the prequel was hilarious because it came out years after the show. In the show, they were playing high schoolers. In the prequel, years later, they're still playing high schoolers, but now they're fucking 40. And
yeah,
they
it was
40.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny.
But I liked Firewalk with Me.
I think it was good, but it literally didn't answer any questions.
No, it didn't. If anything, it made me ask more.
Yeah, we were like, what is going on?
Which is kind of cool. I don't know.
It turned into like a time travel thing. And we were like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's what the like sequel series focuses on, is time travel. No idea. After Twin Peaks,
out of 10.
Oh. Twin Peaks, I would give it a 6.5.
I'm going to give it an 8. I really liked it.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
It made me fall in love with David Lynch. David Lynch is now one of my favorite directors. I went and watched a bunch of his other work.
It was good. I appreciate it, but I will probably never watch it again.
That's fair.
And then I got to pick, and I picked Bates Motel, which I had already watched and completely finished before.
And I like the movie Psycho.
We both love Psycho, so I convinced him. We grew up watching Freddie Highmore, who, through watching Bates Motel...
Who we both thought was James from James and the Giant Peach, but it's not Freddie Highmore.
It's a fucking redhead.
It's a different guy. It's because his little claymation guy looks so much like Freddie Highmore.
I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm imagining him from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, because I guess they were around the same age. I don't know.
What else has he been in?
As a kid?
Yeah. Was he in Arthur and the Invisibles, or was that a different kid?
That sounds right. I think that's right.
I think that is right.
But he does not look like his little character.
No, he has like white hair.
Yeah.
It's because the fairies look weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like that movie.
I did, but I don't really remember it. I remember, Dad, there was a sequel and a threequel. And Dad like rented
and
them.
a squeakquel.
And I watched them, and I like couldn't get the third one to play, and it was weird. The second one was like really weird. Anyways,
I'm trying to think. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I feel like I'm mixing him with other
Secret
kids.
Garden.
Maybe I never watched.
Was
that.
was he in the five kids in It? No, that was way before he was.
Yeah,
I think he was in the Secret Garden.
I've never seen it.
I haven't either. But it was on. It was the reason I think that he was in the 5 kids in It is because we had like a 3-set movie thing, and it was like witches.
Better.
Penis.
Come on.
I think it's a tick. Penis.
What were we talking about?
Freddie Highmore.
Oh yeah. For some reason, I was thinking of Nanny McPhee, but that's Thomas Brody Sangster.
It
It's not
is.
Freddie Highmore. But both are just skinny white boys who are British. Child actors.
Only one of them was a Maze Runner.
Could have fooled me.
Bates Motel.
Bates Motel.
It was good. It had its ups and downs, I think, for me.
Yeah, definitely. I think they end it well. I like how they wrap it up.
We love Sheriff Romero.
Oh my God, Daddy Romero.
Don't say that.
He's played by Nestor Carbonell. Mwah, also in Lost.
Is he one of the others?
I think he plays Jacob. Or he plays Jacob's like
I have only
second
seen
hand
the
man.
like first couple episodes of Lost because we had like the first 5 seasons, but then in the first season we only had like the first 2 discs, and then the rest of them were lost. Like the like sheets were there.
The Lost discs were lost.
Yeah.
Allie and I just like a few years ago rewatched all of Lost. It was great. It was so good.
Smoke Monster scary,
He's scary in theory.
but it's because like it's a bad CGI.
Yeah, it's scary until you see him, and then you're like, yeah.
There's a big
But
cloud.
so yeah, Sheriff Romero, played by Nestor Carbonell, amazing. Vera Farmiga, who plays in The Conjuring, who plays Norma Bates, incredible. She killed it. She brought it home. Watching Bates Motel made me realize that maybe Freddie Highmore
Not a great actor.
is not that good of an actor.
He just looks like Norman Bates. He looks like Anthony Perkins.
Perfect casting physically as Norman Bates. Like he looks just like
Would
what's his name? Anthony.
the kid from The Maze Runner do a good job in Nanny McPhee? The other one that kind of looked like Freddie Highmore. Do you think that he could have done it?
No.
No? Doesn't look as much like him?
He doesn't look as much like
My
him.
coworker Evan could have done it.
That's true.
I tried to tell you. You didn't believe me. He looks like him.
He looks
It wasn't a
just
joke.
like
He
him.
looks exactly
I
like
thought
Freddie
you were
Highmore.
saying like
No.
how he dressed. But you kept saying Norman Bates. You should have been saying Freddie Highmore.
Sorry. But yeah, no, he looks.
But yeah. Also, like, I'm sure it's hard to be doing an American accent the whole time, but especially when Freddie Highmore was doing like emotional scenes, British
you could see
popped
it.
out.
Yeah.
Mother. That's how the British sound.
Honestly, his bad acting kind of made whenever it was bad kind of fun because it's like
He's
this
an
sucks.
ugly crier.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so
And he cries a
funny.
lot in the show.
When he does like temper tantrum shit, it's so funny. Like
Which
when he's-
happens a
when he's
lot.
actually playing mad, it's so funny. But when Norma Bates plays mad, actually genuinely scary.
Good actress.
Great actress. She's fantastic. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. Out of 10.
It's fun, but it's dark. And it has the dude from The Pacifier.
Yes.
Can't think. Max.
Keebler's Big Move.
Mm-mm. Josh Peck was in that. And the guy from Shameless.
Miguel is my name, and I'm a bouncy boy.
He's so good at playing a bully.
A gay bully.
I can't think of his name. Max something. Oh well, it doesn't matter.
Keebler.
Out of 10, I would give Bates Motel a 7.5. No, I would give it a 7.
I think I'm gonna give it a 6.
Also, it's bizarre. I like this aspect, and I also don't like this aspect, but they made it modern. So like they have cell phones,
but they are like Norma's stuck in the 50s, which is like weird.
And like their house decor and like
the house decor makes sense because it is an older house, so it's like you would do it that way. But like the car and the way she dresses, it's like what the fuck is happening?
But it would also be cool if you had this high quality, like great cast, beautiful color scheme, hot, like just great, but it was set in the time period it's supposed to be set in.
Yeah.
I would have loved that.
That would have worked.
But I admire them for going with trying the modern thing.
Yeah. And the story they told kind of requires that. Yeah. I feel like because you'd have to change some things.
Yeah, but like all the shit they added, like they really took their time building up to like the Norman's.
Yeah, his mother.
Issues. Yeah. Which I liked, but like, remember how the whole plot of the first season is like, there's like sex trafficking, and they find that girl on the boat.
Find that girl on the boat.
Yeah, and it was like,
because is Norma trying to blackmail the mayor or a governor because they're trying to build a highway?
She's trying to stop them because that's a thing in Psycho.
Yeah, that is the thing in Psycho. That's why nobody goes to that motel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they build the highway. So, but they stretched that out for a few seasons.
Yeah. But what's funny about that in this one is that she's like, "You're building the highway. It's gonna ruin business." Like, nobody's stopping at your shitty motel. There's a Marriott in town. Nobody's going to. What the fuck? Nobody goes. Not to that kind of motel in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I liked the first episode, where like they bought the house.
It starts with him waking up after spoilers.
The dad, yeah. Yeah, which it was cool because they didn't like reveal anything. Like, and then they moved to the house, and then the guy who got like his house, he owned it, and he got foreclosed and kicked out. He's like fucking pissed, and so he ends up like breaking in and raping her, and then she kills him, and then which they could have totally called the police then, and it like he would have been on their side even though he didn't know them then.
Yeah.
I guess he did come in hot. Because remember how in the first like 2 seasons it was like, oh, he's kind of mean. Yeah. Sorry, talking about the sheriff.
Yeah, Sheriff Romero. Did he come in hot? They were like, they just like came in and they're like, hey, what's going on? And then because they saw his truck, and then they were giving like conflicting stories.
I feel like he could immediately tell that she was lying to him, and he's like, dude, just tell me what's up. I'll help you. I'm a reasonable character.
Where did the other cop go? Because she was they started fucking. She was fucking that guy.
But he was bad too. He was like doing something shady.
Did she kill him?
I literally don't remember.
She killed him. She kills him.
The deputy.
Yeah.
Handsome deputy.
She kills him because he was helping the guy sex traffic the girl. Yes. And then either she or Norman or guy from Pacifier killed him.
Yeah.
One of those people.
Was that the one where he like walked down the steps and he had been like shot or something? That was good. They had some really fucking good parts. Some of the stuff was corny, but a lot of it was good.
When it like climaxed, the climax was good, but sometimes the build up was muddled.
Yeah. When it was just Norma being a bitch.
For no reason.
And then there was a whole part
she would just sometimes an episode would just be Norma goes to a place and is a Karen, and then that's the episode.
And then she's a Karen to fucking Norman.
And then she's a Karen until she wins.
And he's like, but mother.
And then Norman cries. And then Norman gets sexually assaulted by his teacher.
Yeah. Statutory rape in that show too.
It's okay. No, they didn't fuck. He killed her before they fucked. Yes,
but like that's what like triggered
was going to
because
happen.
that was going to
Yes.
happen, or maybe
she was
No.
fucking. No, it was revealed she was fucking other students.
okay. Because wasn't there a thing where they were like they found semen in her?
Yeah, but it wasn't his because they never fucked. But they were they were worried it was going to be him because he didn't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but
But it was another student.
So she would be a
semen.
Karen in the early seasons, and then the later seasons it switched, and she was being kind of chill. Sometimes she would gaslight him, but
Norman was
he
being
would
the
just
Karen.
come in with a fucking attitude. I don't know,
Mother.
mother. Blah 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 blah.
I just want to sit in the basement and sew up dead things, mother.
Why'd you go with your boyfriend, mother?
Yeah.
I bet you fuck him
That's
too.
because he was started being horny on the timeline.
He wanted to fuck his mom. Cause she would like kiss him on the lips and shit.
You want to move on?
Yes. Okay. Out of 10.
I think I gave it a 6.
Oh, did we already do it?
Yeah. You gave it like a 7.5 or an 8.5, I think.
I think I said 7.
7.
I think I
I'm
took
giving
it
I'm
to
giving it
7.
a 6.
I feel good about it. Okay, and then you got to pick
And I picked Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Ash versus Evil Dead, which also during that year we watched the Evil Dead trilogy.
We watched the Evil Dead trilogy.
Very
And we
good.
watched the remake. I had never seen the remake. It was
I
pretty
love
good.
the remake,
Yeah, I like the remake.
but the trilogy was very good.
I enjoy that it's completely different. They're not trying to do it's the Evil Dead premise, but they go in their own direction with it,
Yeah.
which I appreciate. But yeah, I'm massive Sam Raimi fan, director. But then
Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man
Tobey
trilogy.
Maguire's Spider-Man
director.
trilogy, the Holy Trilogy. Yeah, Evil Dead. He's done other stuff. Oz the Great and Powerful, which I rewatched.
Oh.
Actually kind of fun.
With
It's-
James Franco.
with James Franco. It's kind of just Army of Darkness because it's like he just comes out of the sky and then they think that he's like the hero that's supposed to save them, but then he ends up making it worse. But then he ends up like through illusions, like tricking the enemy. It's just Army of Darkness, which I think was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I really like all of that, and then so I watched Evil Dead years prior. I don't think I had watched the most recent season, but then we rewatched it, and I liked it even more than I remembered. It was very good.
So funny.
So funny, but also occasionally it would have like genuinely like creepy and like scary
Yeah.
shit. But
Lot
my
of
main
gore.
my main thing with all of the Evil Dead, especially the TV show, is just not even funny or scary or whatever. It's creative. It's so creative. Half the time I'm like, I've never seen that. That's so fun.
Original.
Yes, in the show they would like, because in the movies they're not like specific demons. They just like kind of inhabit somebody and then they do fucked up shit. But sometimes they'll like turn into monsters and it's crazy. But in this, like the demon that was like glitching around, that was
that
a
was
cool.
scary.
Like, we had never seen that in an Evil Dead movie before, and that visual was cool and striking, and it looked good. I feel like the majority of the effects
Yeah.
looked good, and if they were cheesy, it was like that kind of added to that. It was stupid and funny.
If it was cheesy, they usually like, because that's my biggest thing with effects is like if you don't have enough money to do the effect,
I felt like they did it practical.
you
a
need
lot
to
of the time.
figure out another way to make it at least like look kind of good. Don't just do the shitty CGI. Like
Yes.
find a way to
If
like
they could have made
cut
it look
away
good, then
or,
it was
like-
stylized.
Yeah, but so yeah, they did a lot of cool stuff, especially with like blood and shit.
So
Where
much
you were
blood.
like, whoa, that's not CGI.
I love it.
Practical, yeah.
Practical blood. CGI blood pisses me off and stuff. They use CGI blood in John Wick a lot, and that's like one of my big gripes with that. Is that like
you
I
can
can just tell. I'm just like, ugh, like use a squib. Come on.
What the fuck's a squib?
That's like whenever like you pretend to shoot someone in a movie and then it like actually pops and like blood gushes. It's just like a little explosive that has blood in it and it pops. Like in Django when he's fucking shooting people and it's literally just like it's just like blood fucking exploding. Those are
I
all
need to
squibs.
rewatch Django.
Django's so good.
I would give it a 6.5.
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's
I
attached
love that
'cause,
world.
Like,
yeah.
yeah, your
I
favorite
love
director.
I love Bruce Campbell as Ash. He's so funny because he's just an idiot asshole piece of shit unapologetically, and that's the point. And
Yeah.
it's great, and they maintain that.
Like the butt of the joke is on him.
Well, literally the joke of the show is that it's 30 years later and he has not changed. He still thinks that he's like, oh yeah, and like thinks he's wearing the girdle and he's fucking that girl in the bathroom in the first episode. I don't know. There's just so much. Like, he's just such a piece of shit, but it's fun.
I I would not have watched it without you, and I would not have continued watching it without you, but I did enjoy all of it. It was fun.
And it ends with him going into like Mad Max. Remember
that was crazy.
That was crazy.
That was insane. I was kind of like excited for that setup.
Yeah, I think that's a holdout because
Of the video game, maybe?
No. In Army of Darkness, the original ending that Sam Raimi shot was that Bruce Campbell's character Ash was going to go to a cave and drink a potion. He was only supposed to drink a certain amount, and then he was supposed to say specific words, and then he would fall asleep and wake up in modern times. But he accidentally drank too much, and he said the words wrong, and he wakes up in the future, and it's like a desert wasteland, and he's like, no, and he kind of has that like Planet of the Apes moment where like he falls down, and he's like, no, they did it, those goddamn bastards. He has like that kind of moment, but then the studio was like, that's too dark, and so they were like, you need to make it where it's like he's in the present, and he does like a hero thing, and so Sam Raimi was like, all right.
I wish people would stop telling Sam Raimi what to do.
Yeah, but to be fair, I like both of those endings, and without the ending we got, we may not have gotten Ash vs. Evil Dead, because him waking up in the future is kind of a finite, whereas
True.
They kind of they never mention that Army of Darkness has happened.
There were some things where
there was a couple times that they did, but it's like they kind of like, he's never like, yeah, and I literally went to the medieval ages and saved humanity. I was Jesus. Like, I saved humanity. Yeah. But they never, yeah. So it's weird, but it also like just kind of picks up. Literally, it's like Army of Darkness ends, and then he just stays for 30 years. Like, he has the same job. Mm-hmm. He's still a piece of shit. Yeah, he still thinks he's just as cool, and
he still hits on every single girl he sees, no matter how old she is.
I love in the first episode when he goes up to Kelly, and he says something about like, "Oh, you should thank your mom because she looks good." And she's like, "Yeah, my mom died 6 months ago." And he's like, "Wow, oof, that sucks." And he's like, next time you should just like not say anything. It's like kind of messed up that you would just like drop that on somebody. Like I didn't know. It's like, what an asshole.
God. Yeah, it was good. And then we tried to give Riverdale a chance.
We got about a season and a half in.
And it was, that's how far I got before. And then I was like, this is, as soon as they said that there was a drug affecting the town called Jingle Jangle, and they were very serious when they said that, I was like, I have to go. I can't watch this anymore. It was so funny, dude. They make so many references in.
I think you just drove by.
They make so many references in that show to just random, like, very particular things. They think
it's so funny because it's such a stupid. It's so stupidly written
concept.
It looks good.
Horribly written.
Yeah,
they have the money.
They have the money, and they have the audience apparently. But it is insanely stupid, but it thinks it's genius.
It moves so quickly.
It literally thinks it's Twin Peaks. That's like...
But Twin Peaks was slow.
Twin Peaks was slow. Twin Peaks, that's kind of what's beautiful about Twin Peaks is that it creates the beautiful, going back to Twin Peaks, atmosphere. The music, the old town, the diner, the mill, the woods, the lodge, all of these weird music, characters we meet. Yes. Cooper, the Agent Cooper, like perfect energy that he loves pie and he's flirting. It's perfect. It creates this perfect energy.
But do you think Riverdale would have worked if it was that slow?
No, because people wouldn't watch it because people would be bored. That's the reason why.
Because it's like mainly 13-year-olds. They want 13-year-olds who have crushes on Cole Sprouse.
But it genuinely is like it's the same diner. Yeah, basically, it's the same little town. It's
100%
a Twin Peaks. They're doing. I think that they think that they're being clever, but it just comes across as like you're just ripping off Twin Peaks, especially because none of the people watching Riverdale know what Twin Peaks is.
I think that there are a lot of things after Twin Peaks that were inspired by Twin Peaks.
That's very true.
I would definitely say it's inspired. But it was inspired by a lot of things. Because remember, we were being like this, I don't know.
That's the thing, is that it references a whole bunch of things, but in that it doesn't have its own identity.
It references old shit that these kids would not get, and then it references very modern shit that, like, it just was so weird. Bizarre. Like, every other line is someone being like, oh, you mean like this thing that I'm referencing?
Oh,
and
like in Vertigo? And it's like,
like,
Jughead's never seen an
Alfred Hitchcock. And it's like, I'm 13. I don't know what the fuck that means. You said the C word. And also it made me realize that Cole Sprouse is not a good actor. Sometimes kid actors should just be that.
And
kid
he
actors.
Takes off that hat.
He's a weirdo.
You've never seen him without that hat on.
I will say this. I think Dylan Sprouse is a good actor. I saw him do an indie movie and I thought he did good.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in anything outside of Zack.
But he doesn't really like act. But
I don't think that they need to. They're probably both very rich.
But I would say most of the actors in Riverdale are not good actors. That's what I'm gonna say. But it's I would say
AJ Kappa, KJ Appa,
KJ Appa.
KJ Appa. 2 thumbs down.
You don't know the highs and lows of high school football.
Ugh.
Statutory rape.
Yeah.
Statutory rape in that show.
Wait, who gets statutorily raped?
AJ Kappa.
Oh yeah.
KJ
He
Appa.
fucks the music teacher.
The music teacher fucks him.
Yeah, and then they're like, "You gotta move." Listen, we're not gonna report this.
Didn't she get like killed with the bow that he gave her?
With the bowstring.
He's like, that's my fault.
Somebody's killing all the women I fucked.
Bro, that show's so ridiculous. I think my favorite character.
Who was killing people? Was it the guy that shot them was it the guy that shot the dad in the diner?
I don't remember.
Maybe that was the second season and we didn't finish it.
I think we're mixing up the second season. But
yeah, no, it sucked.
The first season was the whole thing about like the twins and like they were trying to run away because of the pregnant sister that was being covered up. But then
sometimes
the parent actually kidnapped the kid and like killed him.
Cause they're
just evil.
Cause it's Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
Ugh.
Cause my grandpa killed.
I think that they're
grandpa.
literally like
they think they're so much more clever than they
so
are.
it's the Capulets and the. Do you remember the other people?
The
Montagues. Montagues and the Capulets. I think it's like an M name and a C name. It's like such a fucking obvious Romeo and Juliet.
Something. Betty Cooper.
Betty Cooper. Capulets. And it's the dad who's a shitty actor.
Cheryl something.
Is it with an M?
I don't know. I don't remember. She looks like knockoff the redhead in Teen Wolf.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Styles fucks her.
I don't know if they ever fucked.
They date.
I don't think I saw that season. There's a part where he's having a panic attack and she kisses him to calm him down, which is like proven like you shouldn't do that to someone who's having a panic attack. Stupid.
Yeah, that would make it so much worse. I remember an episode where they stay home from school and they fuck. And I also remember an episode where Teen Wolf and Girl break up and then they're hiding in the closet and then it's like he's like rubbing against her butt and he's like, "Oh no, I'm gonna bust."
They do break up.
Yeah.
And then he gets another girlfriend.
How dare he?
But okay, here's a fucked up thing from Teen Wolf.
Yes,
is
tell me
that
about Teen Wolf.
In one of the seasons, there's were-coyotes. They find this fucking girl who, when she was 8 years old, she was in a car crash and she just like turned into a were-coyote. Has lived as a were-coyote for like 8 years in the woods. So like her brain would still be 8 years old. So then somehow she's turned back into a human and she's 16 like them or whatever.
But
her brain would be 8 years old, bro. What'd you say?
Yeah, so she has the brain of an 8-year-old. I was agreeing with you.
That's who fucked. Styles dates. And they fuck. And I'm like, I don't like that.
I don't like that.
She should not be able to just go to school with y'all. She should be in an
That's
institution.
How is the school system like? Wait, you don't have a social security card? You don't.
Your
Where's
parents
your birth certificate?
That's crazy.
Where are your previous grades? Where is your proof that this is the grade that you are in? There are so many hoops you have to jump through to get your kid to go to a new school.
Teen Wolf gets crazy. Off the rails.
I remember there's a fight in a bank. There's like an empty bank and they fight in it at night. And the twins are there. And they're like...
The twins!
For some reason I thought that they turned into motorcycles. I don't know why I thought that.
One of them,
I was a kid when you were watching that show. I was like 9.
One of those twins is from The Office.
Yes, he's one of the interns.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Every time I see that guy, I'm like, twin. Motorcycle.
They kind of look like motorcycles, so it makes sense.
Do they ride motorcycles in the show?
Maybe. I don't know. I think they're like bad boys. It sounds right.
I meant shirtless leather jacket.
I'm pretty sure one of them dates Lydia in the show, the redhead. But anyways, what were we just talking about? Riverdale. Rate it.
Like a 3 out of 10.
I was gonna say 2. It's so bad. It's still going.
It's very popular.
Oh my god. All right. So then, even though I don't know that I even wanted to watch Riverdale. I think I was like, let's watch the first episode, and then you were like, this is so funny, let's keep going.
I like bad shit.
Yeah.
I've watched
But I was like,
all
this
of 13 Reasons Why. I think it's so
horrible.
funny how terrible it is. I watched the entire third and fourth. No, I watched when the third season came out. I watched it in a day. When the fourth season came out, I watched it all in a day. It was like 13 episodes, each like an hour long.
Were you like laughing the whole time? Or do you get like
it was
sucked
misery.
in?
It's pain. But then at the end, you're like, I can just pull out the good stuff and yell it at people, and then it's funny. And that's how I live my life.
So after we ditched Riverdale after a season and a half because it was too much, I picked Shameless. I was like, Shameless is a good fucking show. Just give it a chance. And we watched it for 9 seasons. We powered through that shit. It was actually like way too much.
It actually was a lot. There's a lot that happens in the show. A lot of mental health
it's
shit.
pretty dark. It has funny stuff, but it's pretty dark. Your thoughts? Because it was your first time.
It is really good. It's good. Like all the characters grew on me. You start to I don't know. It's good. I like that. Like they're not stagnant. They're all although it feels like and maybe it's part of the show because you said that she's basically turns into Frank. What's her name? Fiona. She basically turns into Frank in the last season, which I didn't watch because I ran out of steam and I thought that it stopped being
We
good.
watched the first episode of episode 9 and it was like too
Season
cartoony.
9. Yeah.
Season 9. And
I think we watched the first like 2 or 3 and then we were like
let's
no.
not. And then
but you have since returned.
I waited a few months and I was like, because they're done after season 11. So I was like, I've already rewatched it for the second time. I could just power through these fucking 3 seasons and be done with the show forever. And I finished it.
Yeah.
So I'm on the last episode of season 10 and season 11's coming in like October. So
okay. I feel like
it
Fiona
sucked me back in.
I feel like for the most part all the characters grow.
Yeah.
But I feel like Fiona is kind of stuck in like every season she falls just to get back up, just to fall, just to get like it's
I
like
think
she's
they all
stuck.
kind of have that.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm thinking of Lip. I feel like Lip has a great arc. He has a great growth as a character where like he does fall because he becomes like an alcoholic or whatever, but it's like it's all in service of him getting better. Like because of him going through his alcoholism, I feel like he's better than where he was before he was an alcoholic. But I don't know. Fiona will just occasionally just make like really dumb decisions, and it's like, why? That doesn't fit your character. Why did you just steal everyone's money to go and do this thing that you know they're gonna be pissed about?
Yeah.
But conflict has to arise. It's a TV show after all.
Yeah.
I can't really fault it for that.
She's not in season 10 and I don't know if she's in season 11. She like left. She like somehow something worked out and she got money. She got sober. She got money, like a bunch of money, and she like left $50,000. I think she got $100,000. She left $50,000 for the kids. She like gave it to Debbie and she was like, "You're in charge of it." And then she like moved away. So she's like not in season 10.
Damn.
And Lip has a baby.
I knew that part.
But sorry, shameless talk. So Debbie was in charge of the money, right? And she like made this big deal out of like she had like a whole thing on the wall that's like, here's how much money we have. This is for this each week. Everyone has this much like allowance money. And she like was like, I'm in charge of this. I pay all the bills. And like when people wanted their money, they'd like run it by them and like run it by her. And she would be like, I think you can have your money or not. She was being very tight ship about it. But what she was actually doing was she rented a fucking storage unit and she was going and buying like Gucci shit. And then she would keep the tags and the receipts. And she like had a calendar when it's like the 30 days and she would go return it. But she was fucking using their money to get like expensive like bougie clothes and shit, and then
she would return it.
She would return it, but she was also like going to bougie bars and stuff like that.
But
she wasn't telling them that. That was also.
Was she like wearing it around town, or did she just leave it in the storage unit?
The storage unit was basically a giant walk-in closet.
Okay, and she was just using that because she couldn't take it home because then everyone would see.
Yeah,
but she was wearing it out and about.
She would like when she went welding, she would wear like fucking fancy ass underwear. Or like a fancy shirt, which I'm like, it would get dirty.
But they would not take that back.
But she would like go hang out at bougie bars and get dudes to buy her drinks and stuff. But there she would wear like a full on dress and like heels, fancy heels and stuff. But she went to return something from one guy, and he was like, no, this is scuff. Like, we have a test that says if you've worn these shoes, and if you've worn the shoes, then you can't return it. And she's like, fuck, because she's worn them. And so she's like, come on, dude, can you just please help me? Like, this is so expensive, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, I'll help you if you give me a blowjob after my shift. And she's like, bro, what the fuck? And then she's like, okay, how about I give you a blowjob after the shift? And he's like, that's what I said. She's like, yeah, but it's less sad if I offer than you asking me. But anyways.
Rated out of 10.
You rated out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
I was going to give it a 7's pretty good, I think. 7's fair. We just went through it so fast. It's because it
was a lot.
Dark too. Like, to me, the craziest fucking episode is the Thanksgiving episode where Monica slits her wrist.
Yeah.
Whew. When I was watching it
Heavy.
for the first time, I did not see it coming, and I was so shocked.
Very heavy. Yeah.
7's good for Shameless. And once I took time off and I went back, I did get sucked back in, and I was like, these are good characters. This is a good show.
I do not think that I will ever go back and finish it.
Once I fucking get through 11, never. I'll appreciate it, but never.
But I mean, like, I don't even think that, like, I'll be like, okay, eventually I'll go back and do season 9 and season 10 and 11. I don't think that I care.
That's fine.
I liked it, but I don't.
I feel that.
I'm not that invested.
So then we watched Escape at Dannemora.
Escape from Dannemora or Escape at
I think
Dannemora?
it's Escape at Dannemora.
Okay.
It could be from.
Very good.
Very good. Based on a true story. Paul Dano, Benicio del Toro, Patricia Arquette.
Others.
And
No, but nobody really of note. No famous. No other, like, big actors are actually.
Based on a true story of these fucking two guys who basically manipulate this horny lady who works at the prison into
helping them escape. Yeah.
And
of course they get caught.
All right.
No, sorry. That's not. I feel like if it's a real story, you can't really spoil it.
They got caught, but it was fucking good, and it's
good.
so well done, and it's so, like, intense and dramatic.
Yeah.
I would give it an 8. I think.
I would give it an 8, and I think an 8 sounds fair.
I really liked it.
I really liked it.
I was blown away.
It was. Yeah, it was very sad.
Yeah.
Like, Patricia Arquette's character's life was very sad.
We felt bad for her husband.
That she was. You felt bad for her husband because her husband was genuinely just trying to be a good husband, and she would not let him.
He had the funniest accent. It's like
Canadian. Minnesota. Yeah, like Canadian Minnesota kind of vibes.
Yeah. It's so funny. But, like, he was trying so hard,
but he's just
cheating on him and then gaslighting him.
Like, genuinely, if she had just talked to him about the issues, 100% they could have sorted it out, and they would have both been much happier. But instead of doing that, she decided to fuck prisoners.
Which is very illegal.
Very. And also, how do you not in your head, like, I guess if you're that deprived of, like, attention, you don't care. But, like, I would immediately realize, I'm like, he's just fucking me because he's in a place with no pussy. I'm the only pussy he can get. Of course he's going to be sweet to me and give me notes.
She's not thinking like that.
Yeah, I know. Dumb bitch syndrome.
Oh, my God.
It was good, though. It was very good.
It was so good. And
very well acted, very well written, very well shot.
The only other time I had seen Paul Dano was in Swiss Army Man, which is a very weird movie.
He's in Looper. He's in stuff. He's not a main character in Looper, but
I liked Looper.
He's the guy that the old version of him starts getting his stuff cut off. I love Looper.
Was good. Good. I need to rewatch it, actually. But that's when I was like, oh, Paul Dano's fucking sick.
He's a good actor.
He's a weird looking dude, he's a good actor.
Gonna be the Riddler.
Oh, he's going to be the Riddler in the Robert Pattinson Batman.
Robert Pattinson Batman.
So then, oh wait, what did we say, 8?
8.
I stand by it. And then Cameron chose, but I'd been thinking about it, Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot. Neither of us had seen it.
Blew me away.
Very good.
Blew me away.
There are parts of it that I take umbrage with, but overall, like, I respect it as an artistic vision. It's just that some of the things I'm like, I don't know if that works, but overall, great.
I would give it a 9 out of 10.
I would agree. I think I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Oh, my God. It was so... And it convinced me that Rami Malek is awesome. And he's a good actor.
It's the only thing that's ever, like, just straight up lied to me. Like, because normally when like a movie or a TV show, like their twist is just that the thing lied to you and they just didn't give you the information, and then it's like, you didn't know, and it's like, I would have no way of knowing. It's the only show that gets away with that. It's the only show that does that, and I'm still like, I still respect it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I don't have a little bit of a problem with that, but
Yeah.
overall,
But I think it's
worth
like
it.
because our main character, who we're
we have
obviously
an unreliable narrator. Yeah.
which is kind of Euphoria vibes too.
Yes.
Not, but the twists are so good.
The twists are good.
I loved the season.
This is another one of those
finale
shows
plot
that
twist.
we a lot of the time did not get. We would have to like at the end of the episode be like,
have to discuss.
okay, what happened?
We'd be like, wait,
what's going on?
So he's in the, and this is when it was so good. It was so good. Oh my god.
It was good though.
Also, I learned Rami Malek is a short king because the only thing I'd seen him in is Nightmare
Night at the Museum.
at the Museum, and he was the.
I wish Queen. He was
in
Freddie
Nightmare at the
Mercury.
Museum.
He was Egyptian. He was a pharaoh.
He was a pharaoh.
He was King Tut, maybe?
Maybe.
No,
He was
that's too
hot.
specific.
But I thought he gave me tall vibes in that tiny amount of time.
Well,
that I saw
I
him in
always
my
thought
childhood.
that he was Bruno Mars. That's not a joke. When I watched Night at the Museum, I was like, Bruno Mars.
That's amazing.
And Nathan thought that too, and then I brought up, I was like, oh, it's Rami Malek. Do you know who that is? He's like, no. And I was like, he's the Egyptian, and the thing is like Bruno Mars, and I was like, no.
Fuck. Oh yeah, and so when we're watching the show, I was like, is he short? And so we looked it up, and he's like 5'8" or 5'7". He's little. He's got a little pineapple haircut. He's so cute. I want to put him in my pocket, and I know that's fucked up to say about a grown man. I would put
little
Hugh Dancy in my pocket too. So cute. But it was
I
so
put Agent
fucking
Cooper
good.
in my pocket.
Who?
Agent Cooper from Twin Peaks.
I thought you were trying to say KJ Appa again.
I put Bruce Campbell in my pocket. I think Bruce
I
Campbell's
put
taller
Pablo
than
in my
me.
pocket.
Pablo.
So cute. Now
Pablo.
that's a tall hair.
They killed him like 4 times. He kept dying.
Bro, what about how he was just shirtless for like the last season and he looked great?
He got
With
ripped.
like the tattoos and shit.
Yeah, he had the Sumerian writing on him.
He grew on me.
You didn't like him in the first season.
I was like,
You're
what a
like, it's
weirdo.
too much.
I was like, no one has their hair like that. And then I was like, oh, he's cute. He's a gay icon. He's gay.
I didn't know. I did know that
He's a
actually. I
boyfriend.
just don't think about it.
I just looked at his Instagram and he's got a boyfriend.
Yeah, man.
He was a
I get
pride.
kicked in the nuts all the time, bro. Famous line said by the actor who plays Pablo in Sasquatch Gang.
Ray Santiago. That's his name. What were we talking about? Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot. 8.5 out of 10.
Did I tell you about the Workaholics thing where they ran into Rami Malek? Okay, so I love Workaholics and I listen to their podcast and I'm literally just telling a story from their podcast. But so Durs had met Rami Malek. Oh, Mr. Robot hadn't started yet, but it was about to start. And there was some kind of thing. Workaholics was there, and he said Rami Malek and Christian Slater came up to them and was like, "We love Workaholics. It's so funny. Like, you guys are great. Blah blah blah." And they like talked to him. And then after like a year or whatever, Mr. Robot's come out, and it's like one of the most popular shows on TV.
Yeah. It blew up.
Yeah. And
big.
so they're at an event and he sees Rami Malek. And so he goes up to him and he's like, "Hey, dude, like, congrats. The show's awesome, blah, blah, blah." And then the guy's like, "I don't know you." And he's like, "You came up to me at that thing. You told me you loved my show. Like, what the fuck?" And he's like, "Wasn't me." And he's literally like, is Rami Malek like, he blew
Gaslighting
up
me?
and now he's like acting like he doesn't
Acting
fucking
like he
know
don't
me?
know nobody.
And he's like, "Must have been my twin brother." And Durs is like, "Oh, you have a twin brother." And he's like, "Yeah, that's my brother." And he points across the room and that's Rami Malek. So Rami
literally was
Rami Malek has a twin brother who looks like him named, I think his name's Sammy.
Who likes workaholics?
I don't know. But then Adam was like, I had the exact same situation. I think it was that night too. So apparently him and they had done like a boys Vegas trip and Rami Malek came with them. Not with the Workaholics boys, with like Adam and his friends. So he's like party with Rami Malek, and then I think at that event, like 30 minutes after Durs, he came up behind who he thought was Rami Malek, and
But it
like,
was his twin brother.
and he was like grabbing his boobs and stuff, and like sexually assaulting him basically. And then he's like, "Hey, dude," blah blah blah. And he's like, "I don't know you. Like my brother's over there." But it's crazy that you went on a vacation with a guy and you didn't know he had a twin brother. That's what's crazy.
It's crazy that you thought you could grope him in and you didn't know he had a twin brother.
That's insane. But that's funny.
Yeah.
They thought he was
Adam
just
Devine is a crazy man.
Devine.
Devine?
Divine. I always get it mixed up. I'm sorry. I corrected you. Adam Devine.
What's his name in the show?
DeMamp.
DeMamp.
Blake Henderson.
DeMamp camp.
Anders Holm. Holmvik.
Holmvik.
Real name's Holm. Which they were saying they're glad they did that because then, like, when they're in public and people are like, Adam! Like, at least that's their real name. And We're the Millers, Will Poulter, he was out to lunch with his mom, and people were
Was
like,
somebody like, Spider Balls!
Yep.
That's the Spider Balls kid!
Like, Spider Balls!
Really? Did they say Spider
Yes,
Balls?
he told that story. Spider
I
Balls.
was just saying that. That's a funny way to say that. But I figured they'd be like, "Oh, you're the guy that got bit on your balls." Why am I being like Spider Balls?
They said people just shout Spider Balls at him.
Great. I would love that.
I think a lot of people shout like Eyebrows Kid. Eyebrows.
Lee Carter.
I love Will Poulter.
That's what I'm gonna yell at him if I ever see him. I'll be like, Lee Carter. Lee Carter.
All right, Mr. Robot, great, 9 out of 10.
8.5.
Fair. And then, what's so crazy is probably like a year and a half ago, we watched the first season, or I rewatched the first season of Dave with you, and you liked it. I loved the first season of Dave. I thought it was good soup.
Very good. Yeah, I like it.
And so the second season came out, so that's like the last thing we watched was season 2 of Dave.
It literally ended like the last episode was like a couple days before I left for college.
Yeah, it was crazy. It worked out.
It perfectly worked out.
I feel like it didn't carry over the things that I liked about the first one.
But it ended well.
But yes, the finale was good.
I would say the last
It's like 2.
2, yeah. Because the one before was the one where he was in the
like,
pod,
tripping,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was good.
That was good.
Yeah. He just didn't carry over anything charming from the first
Yeah.
one. And that.
It was almost like his character lost all of his charm.
But even like the things like
He was
I
mostly just unlikable.
loved the "Hi, I'm Dave."
A little Dicky.
They took that out.
Yeah, they took that out. Now it's just Dave.
Yeah. And it would play like actual music. But it ended really good. Like I literally just rewatched the like when he was practicing on stage. So fucking good. But all the comments were like, "This is blasphemy." Cuz he like is on the cross and shit. So good.
That's clearly
It's a joke.
Well, and it's clearly like parodying Lil Nas X. Like that's clearly what he's doing. Cuz that's Lil Nas X's thing is that he's like being sacrilegious.
I felt like he was making
And it's also a
fun of
Kanye thing. Yeah.
Because Kanye's like,
That's probably is more apt because he does talk about how he wants to be Kanye.
It's like Kanye got a God complex and then he like humbled himself with religion, and so now he's just like sucks God's dick.
It'll be interesting to see what the next Kanye twist is, because I'm sure we got another one. We got at least one more coming in his lifetime.
Yeah, I listened to Donda, guys. I didn't like it.
I've yet to listen to it. I will not express opinions.
No, it wasn't good.
Yeah, I probably won't listen to it. I don't really like rap.
So yeah.
What would you rate season 1 of Dave out of 10?
I really liked it. I've actually
I'm gonna give it a
a
7.
couple times. I would probably give it an 8.
An 8. Okay. What would you give season 2? Because I think I would give it a 5.
I would probably give the first 3/4 a 6 out of 10, and then the last
two are like
I would
a
give it
7 or
like
an 8
a
out of 10.
7.5.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So overall, what is that? Like a 6.5 to 7 out of 10?
Yeah, something like that. Math is hard.
But I think the main reason I kept watching is because I love the cast. Like I love Lil Dicky, Andrew Santino, Gata, Taco, the girlfriend, the girl who's a friend.
The director friend.
Yes,
the girl,
the director friend. Is there anyone else really in the? I guess that's it.
Benny Blanco.
Benny Blanco. He ended up being kind of funny.
Ended up being funny.
Yeah. Everyone,
That Korean guy that went to war
yeah, he's
in
from
the
Maze
first
Runner.
episode.
He's from Maze Runner.
He's from Wish Upon.
And there was also just random,
Not the Asian kid from 13 Reasons Why. Zach
famous
Dempsey.
people cameos, which is cool, like rappers and shit.
Mm.
And yeah, but the first season, I felt like there was
Chef's
genuine
kiss.
like messages and very clear, like just it was very emotional and it was deep, but it was also funny. But like it just wasn't as funny the second season, and it was like kind of fake deep, and like not much happened for a while.
Yes. It could be, we talked about this after, it could be because, it has been a dark year, and it could be that maybe Lil Dicky's just in a darker place and he doesn't want to write
because he writes
story
it,
again.
he directs it, and he stars in it. And then he also is having to write
do music.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a lot. I'm sure it is a lot.
I'm sure it's so much.
And I think that might be a part of it. And maybe this is just me because I have a very cynical brain. I feel like maybe no, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. I kind of got the vibe in this season that, and I've been seeing this in a lot of people, like they just really want to be Bo Burnham. They want to hit that funny where it's like funny, but also it's sad and it's deep and it's genius, right? Because Lil Dicky wants to be the Kanye of comedy rap, but Bo Burnham is the Kanye West of comedy rap. Except I would argue that he's better because he has less of an ego and he's more self-aware than Kanye, but he is that of the comedy music world.
Yeah. I think that it was after like COVID.
Yeah.
But I also think it's kind of like with Get Out, and then we didn't feel like Us slapped as hard. Because how can you, when the first thing out the gate is so good,
that is actually
how do
a
you
very common
surpass
thing.
that?
Second album syndrome, where like a band, their first album is like really good and it's really popular, but then the second album bad, and then usually after that it starts to get better because it's kind of like, I don't know. It is hard to do sequels. It's hard to, because do you do the same thing? Do you evolve it? Is it just the same thing?
You have to
bigger?
find a balance.
You have to find a balance.
And it's hard.
And it is very hard.
Yeah.
It's
so I can
very
definitely
hard.
see that. It's like,
yes.
Because if the second season obviously wouldn't make sense without the first season, but if
that quality, that style, first season,
it would have
and
been
then
fine.
the first season was the second season, it would feel like a perfect arc. It would feel like a perfect
like energy wise.
Yeah,
but
it
that
would
would have
feel
been
like,
fine.
got better.
But the first season was so good. Like every
First season was
episode.
good.
Although I will say I don't like the episode where he's having sex with the fucking bottom half of the
gross.
legs.
I don't get it.
And it's like scary. And after he comes, he looks up at the poster of Drake every time. I don't like Drake. Hot take. Anyway,
It's probably not that hot of a take. I think that probably people at this point are probably pretty. Actually, I don't know. I guess he's very well liked, but I feel like people are starting to become mixed about their opinions on Drake.
yeah. He just doesn't give me good vibes. I kind of feel like there's proof that he has hung out with minors. So,
I mean, yeah, he just straight up he was just grooming Billie Eilish, like
Millie Bobby Brown.
Millie Bobby Brown. Did he say something? No, I feel like he definitely said something about like when Billie Eilish turns 18.
Kylie Jenner.
No, I think it was a Billie Eilish thing. I'm like remembering a specific quote, but I don't actually remember it, but I feel like it was definitely Billie Eilish.
There was something where he said like he always thought Kylie Jenner was hot, even like he was like I always thought she was hot kind of thing. And it's like she just turned 18. Yeah. But there was also like a girl posted a picture with him and she had just turned 18 on Instagram, and then people like did some fucking digging because it's the internet. And they had
been talking before she was 18.
Yeah, they found like connections to where they've known each other for this long, and she was like, 16 or 17. Ask yourself why this grown man can't talk to people his age. What's wrong with him that he's not able to talk to people his age? He's a predator. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, fuck Drake. Fuck Kanye. Stan Bruce Campbell.
Cool.
What'd you say?
I think Kanye is kind of cool.
I think old Kanye was cool.
In most things in the world, I'm of the opinion that everything sucks. and who gives a shit. So when somebody like Kanye exists, I'm like,
He spices things up.
I want to see what's going on. Yeah, what's going on? That guy seems crazy. What's going on over
You
there?
can say that about Trump.
Yeah. That's what's kind of sucked about the Biden administration so far, is that they're kind of like, we haven't seen him that much. He's not. Trump was out there.
Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe. He's too busy taking naps. Come on, Joe. But like, Trump was out there making a fool of himself every day, saying dumb tweets and shitty stuff at press conferences. When's the last time you heard Joe Biden talk? I'm being serious.
I just remember the video where he tripped going up the stairs to the jet.
And then
He
after that,
tripped,
they were
twice.
like, yeah. Did you see where someone put like the quap thing over it?
I think I did.
It's so funny.
Quap. All right. I guess that's
everything.
everything.
College, TV, movies, life, pedophilia.
Whoa.
That's what we talked about at the end.
That's true. It always comes back to that.
To Catch a Predator, great show. Watch it.
Didn't Chris Hansen do some shady shit?
Not that I know of. Not that I'm aware of.
I think he did something shady. I don't know though.
We can look it up after the show.
After the show.
Because I will not besmirch Chris Hansen on live air. I will not spread libel.
Just assume that everyone's shitty and
Yeah.
they've done shitty
Especially the rich
things.
elite.
Like don't hold celebrities to a higher standard at all, because most people suck and they're just people.
There's people with more power.
Yeah, more power. And also what's crazy, like, is that some shitty people are genuinely talented. And that sucks. Because you do have to be like...
Yeah, I find it pretty easy to separate artists from art. Especially when it comes to movie, because like, even if like the director's shitty or an actor's shitty, I'm like, I can say to myself, there were so many other people involved in making this vision come true. The lighting, the wardrobe, the sound guy, the person that did the score, all these people, the other actors in it, the writer. I can say all these things, and to destroy that to throw out the baby with the bath, so to speak, to me seems a bit much. And I also like what I like, and I don't know. I'm not going to let Kevin Spacey molesting a 14-year-old ruin American Beauty for me. He doesn't have that power.
Even though that's literally the plot of it.
Yeah, that is very funny that's the plot of that movie. I mean, not funny. It's sad, but...
Kind of like how...
I think that the director who made that movie, one, has been found out to be a pedophile, and two, if you look at like his other films, they are a lot of the time about like...
That's like Woody Allen.
That it's like, oh, it's okay.
All of Woody Allen's films were like older man, barely legal girl.
I will say, I haven't seen American Beauty in a while. I really like the movie. I believe at the end of it, Kevin Spacey character, there is a moment where he could have sex with the girl, and then he's like, I'm better than this. I don't actually want that. It was just like a little fantasy I had.
I was gonna say something,
but I could be wrong. It could be the exact opposite. It could be the moment of vulnerability, and Kevin Spacey smashes.
It makes me think of, I like the show You, and in season 2 of You, Chris D'Elia played a stand-up comedian who was like taking advantage of little girls, and he kind of was doing that. So it's like, oh, it's too close to home. And then also, they removed the episode of Workaholics where he's a pedophile. Yeah, they took that episode off.
He plays a pedophile in the episode?
Topher.
That's so fucking funny.
He's like Justin Bieber hole 69. And
There's
he just
a
keeps
clip.
sending his dick to them.
His dad's like a famous producer.
Yeah.
I believe.
Or director, yeah.
Or something, yeah. That's how he kind of got his in. And there's like a clip from him from a podcast, Chris D'Elia, and he's like, oh, yeah, you think that all the like producers and elites in Hollywood are just going around fucking kids? Like, yeah, sure, sure, that's what's happening, man. And it's like, you think you're so sly. That's what's so funny.
Or you want to be in it.
That's what's so funny because I genuinely don't think that until like 2010 the elites realized that like fucking kids was wrong. It wasn't until like social media decided that that's like the worst thing that you can do, which I also agree with. I think that it is one of the worst things you can do. That they were like, ooh, because like you have like, interviews with Trump where he's being like, oh yeah, Epstein, he likes them young, and it's like they just thought it was like funny. They were just like, I 100% I bet that they like rationalized it in their heads. I 100% that Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton were like, it's better he's with Epstein than with, they would just be getting raped by not a rich person on the street, so it's better us than them. I'm sure that they justified it because they're people, and you justify the horrible things you do. That's what we do as human beings. It sucks, but it's the truth.
God.
Yeah.
This took a turn.
Sorry. It's fucked.
It's okay. It's real life. So, I almost was QAnon. Anyways,
What?
I almost got sucked into QAnon because of the whole like pedophile
Pizzagate
ring
thing?
shit. Yeah, Pizzagate. And then we watched like this documentary that was very much like, oh, like the celebrities, and there's like this fucking like satanic ring, and like they like sacrifice people, and they like fuck kids, and you're like, yeah, this is all making sense. Like these pieces of evidence make sense. And then
Trump is gonna kill him.
the end of the documentary is like, so that's why we have to trust our Lord and Savior Donald Trump. He's gonna save the kids, and I'm like, he's also fucking the kids.
That's what's crazy is that, like,
He's on Epstein's flight log.
yeah, somehow the right wing have convinced themselves that it's just the liberals, and it's not. It's everybody. It's literally.
It's everybody.
I feel like I genuinely feel like there is like a limit of wealth that you can accumulate where it's like, oh, that person's like, there's no way that you get that much wealth without socializing with the other wealthy people, and the socializing is fucking kids.
Yeah.
Because they're monsters.
And I also feel bad
They're not even monsters. They're people.
for the child actors and child stars.
Yeah.
Like the Olsen twins, Aaron Carter, fucking Kevin McAllister.
Probably Eddie Redmayne.
Was he?
No. Eddie Redmayne.
Freddie Highmore?
No. Probably Freddie Highmore. Eddie Redmayne. That's John Connor. John Connor in Terminator 2. Him and the kid from Gremlins.
Mouth?
From Eddie Furlong. Who is Eddie Redmayne?
Eddie Redmayne is the Danish girl.
Yes.
Les
Sorry,
Mis.
not Eddie Redmayne.
Harry
Eddie
Potter.
Furlong. John Connor. Eddie Furlong? Freddie Furlong?
Wasn't there another guy and he like died and he also came forward about being molested when he was a child actor?
Yes. Can't remember his name. But that was what sprung Mouth. The actor who plays Mouth. That was like when he started to come out, was when that guy died, I believe.
Yeah. Did that guy kill himself because of it?
Maybe. I think that he was. I do remember an interview with
God, we're spreading so much misinformation.
Yeah. Winning. Who's that guy? Charlie Sheen. Where he was talking about because they was
How is that
revealed
guy not in jail?
him and Mel Gibson both. But like when he was like, I want to say like 20, and there was another actor that was like 16, he was just like raping him, and it like came out, and they were like, why the fuck, like what was going on? And he was like that's just what happens. Like that happened to me, and then I do it to him, and then he's gonna do it to somebody else, and that's just the thing. And it's just this fucking horrible cycle. That I mean, and there's also this
literally
other
just
stigma
cycles
that
of
it's
abuse.
just Hollywood, but it's not. It's the elite.
But that also
don't
happens
know.
in like family dynamics too.
Yes,
Of,
yeah.
like, your
no,
dad
it's just
beats you,
people.
so
It's
then you beat
fucking
your
people are
kid.
monsters. We deserve to die.
They don't break the cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man is evil. Man is not inherently good.
Whew.
And on that note,
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if I'll leave that last part
no, yeah, you can cut it.
because that was a lot of deep.
That is a lot.
That was a lot. I feel like I have to put trigger warnings, definitely. But anyways, thank you to my brother
Very welcome. Thank you for
for
having me.
being on No Eye Contact. Thank you if you listened this far. I wish I didn't say Have a good night. I love you. I don't.
We don't know each other.
I don't know you. You could be a fucking weirdo.
You
Actually,
be a pedophile.
Crystalia used to, because I used to love Crystalia. That was one of the last like celebrities that I like really supported, and then I was super crushed when it was like, oh, he's actually a piece of shit. But he used to have a thing where he's like, I'm not gonna say that I love my fans because like you could be like a serial killer.
Very
Actually,
true.
there There was a guy who like robbed a bank and he was wearing Crystalia merch. And he's like, see, this is why I don't say I love my fans. But anyways.
There's Cumtown has a very high percentage of unstable people that watch it, and there are like people like that are like, I guess they're like similar to the QAnon people that genuinely think that Nick is like giving them secret messages.
To do what?
I don't know, and they'll like decipher it on the Reddit and stuff.
That's funny.
You cut that part out.
Oh fuck, what was I gonna say? What were we talking about before that?
Goodbye,
No, for Cumtown.
Crystalia. And there was a guy that robbed
Oh yeah,
the bank
did I
wearing
tell
the
you
merch.
that? I definitely think that Curtis Connor was a Crystalia fan because a lot of like, just because I spent so much time like,
You noticed that he like kind of adopted some of the mannerisms.
and even some of the things he says.
I mean, that's fine as long as he's not.
Yeah. But like, if I ever meet or get to talk to Curtis Connor, I'm gonna be like,
ask him.
were you a Crystalia fan? Because you kind of sometimes talk like him.
That's my Crystalia impression.
Also,
Crazy face, and then I just like spread my legs really wide.
he doesn't do the physicality. It's how he talks. It's specifically like podcast shit, but
You don't like his stand up?
huh?
You don't like his stand up?
Crystalia's?
Yeah,
I did like it.
I feel like it's a lot of him doing like.
No, he's very physical because he has such a fucking.
Yeah,
he is a
that's
weird
what I mean.
looking dude.
He just that's what I was doing. That's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
Crystalia impression. I wasn't doing him
But
on
I'm
a
talking about
podcast.
when he talks. That's what I hear
yeah,
Curtis
yeah.
Connor.
Oh,
Sounds
yeah,
like
yeah.
him.
I wasn't trying to do Curtis Connor doing Crystalia. I was just doing Crystalia.
Curtis also does this thing, have you noticed, where he'll be like, "Hey guy, how about blah 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 blah." Literally, Crystalia does that. But anyways, but Curtis Connor's cool, and he seems unproblematic until he's not. That's right.
And that's
The only unproblematic kings that can be supported are Andy Samberg.
Keanu Reeves.
Sure, I don't know a lot about him. Andy.
All around, extremely nice guy.
I'm gonna say my votes are Andy Samberg, Dylan O'Brien, and Josh Hutcherson. In all the years of supporting them, and I've supported all three of them for many years, I've never heard anything bad about them. I've never had any drama. They're usually on the right stances of politics, excluding Andy Samberg. He doesn't really talk about politics, but yeah. Yes, sir.
Has Frankie Muniz ever done anything fucked up?
He
got fucked up.
He got fucked up. He suffered a lot of.
He was a like Formula One driver for a long time, wasn't he?
I didn't know that. I know that he got a lot of concussions, and so he literally doesn't remember Malcolm in the Middle or filming it. But this isn't like fucked up. This is just like, why are you being horny on the timeline? But he like I think he tweeted like about wanting to fuck Lizzo multiple times.
I think he's married.
I think he said he wanted Lizzo to like put him on a leash or something. It was something weird, and you were like,
fine.
"What's going on?"
Whatever.
Yeah.
Boys will be boys.
Literally all the kids from Malcolm in the Middle. This is the other thing about child actors is they're so cute as kids, and then they grow up to be just like really. I don't even know if they're weird looking adults or if it's just like they just look like normal people. You know what I mean?
Isn't Reese doing something now? The guy who played Reese, isn't he like? First of all, he's ripped.
I'm pretty sure all of them are like weird looking, and I think most of them are gay.
Fair enough.
Love Bryan Cranston, and the mom killed it too. All those kids killed it.
Malcolm in the Middle
It's so good.
so good. I've rewatched it multiple times in my life.
I'm gonna rewatch it again at some point.
It holds up.
So funny,
So
bro.
I love weird shit, and Malcolm in the Middle is a show that's weird.
Dude, the kid in the wheelchair who.
Yeah.
And you can just
Stevie.
feel when Malcolm and he's like, "Fucking hurry up."
There's literally an episode where he's doing a speech, and so Malcolm, they like record him saying all the like, "Hello, my name is Stevie," and they cut out all the breaths and they put it on a recording, and then he just goes up and he goes, and it's just like, "Hello, my name is Stevie."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. But honestly, Frankie Muniz was a good little child actor. But I don't know if I would say he was
Big
a
liar,
cute
big
kid.
fat liar.
I don't know if I would say he's a cute kid.
Big
He
fat
kind of
liar.
always looked like a little man. He looked
Little
like he was
genius.
balding from like 8 years old.
He kind of like Tristan.
Don't say
Yeah,
that.
he did. Especially if you look at him like season 1.
That was when he was little.
I did a thing one time. I literally rewatched Malcolm in the Middle back to back. I like watched all the way through. When I finished watching, I just went back and like rewatched.
Me
it
with
again.
The Office multiple times.
Yeah, but it was very jarring
To see them so little.
because you go from them being like Malcolm and Reese are going off to college to like. I think
They're like an elementary school.
Dewey's not even in school yet.
Dewey's not even born.
It's like his first day of kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like the first
Dewey's
episode.
so good.
Dewey's good. From day one, he's a really funny,
So funny.
cute actor. I love the episode where they're playing basketball with the dad and they beat him and he's like, "The future is now, old man." And we watched his little speech about how nothing in life
Smiting
matters.
the ants.
Yeah, we should just be as nice as possible. Which is genuinely my philosophy, and I didn't realize that Malcolm in the Middle gave me that.
All right.
All right.
Way off topic.
Way off topic. Sleepy hours.
Sleepy hours. Thank you for watching. If you watched, this has been No Eye Contact. My name is Ash.
My name is Cameron.
Oh, do you want to plug anything?
Oh yeah, I'm Fizgig. FIZGIIG. YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. I probably won't be streaming for a while, and I haven't done anything. This is the first time I've been in front of a camera in probably about a month and a half.
College.
Yeah, I was moving, and I just didn't really have the motivation. But I'm hoping to try and get back to it in the next couple weeks. So look for me at those places.
Hell fucking yeah. Thanks for coming, brother.
Thank you for having me.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.